Hi everyone, thank you guys for joining me today. We're taking a look at these shale artifacts. We've been doing some work on them and I'd like to maybe share just a little bit about some of these now that the sun has gone down. You can see how these two different birds, with the one with the crest and the pointy beak, and then the one with the round head and the stripe over its eye. These bird head artifacts are fantastic the way that they made them. I'm sure that the people who made it found it quite fascinating that they could layer their art like this, and believe it or not, the way that they did it, it's so fascinating. You folks who collect stone art in the area, you can already see this silhouette poking out with the eye. This is just a flake. This flake will come right out. They keep those flakes on the pupils of the eye, and you can see the bird eye and the bird beak. So we have a human silhouette pointing to the left with the tiny little ripple or indentation for the lips, which you can see right here. And then the bird is on his head. This is an ancient American meme or character. And what they did, what's so fascinating, is that every single piece that you flake off, they have designed and created their own little characters with these giant bird heads that you can see with the insane crest. You can see the bird beak to the left and the little carving for the bird's eye right there. And he's facing to the left on a man, on a person. Watch when we flip this over. It'll be a different image, but it'll have the same amount of detail. They did it with every sheet of this. So now we can see how these bird heads might change and the person's silhouette might become a little bit different. We can take off sheet after sheet to show these different, see the circle eye and the square crest on the very top with the hook bill, kind of like a hawk. It's unfathomable how they did it. And let's go ahead and just keep on working on this piece little by little, I guess. You can see how that same main outside image is still remaining the same of the person with the bird on their head. And if I can pull off, so they come down to a core and you can see where the main sheets are. Sorry for our focus there. So we'll pull off, oh geez. It's starting to break apart because I actually don't have two hands, unfortunately. But we can just, you can see how this is a child's head that I'm holding, hopefully. You will have the paint eye, the red eye that you can see, with the nose, of course, to the left. And normally there's a bird in the head. It almost looks like a hand or something. But you can see how the hair is pointing up to the top. I think the point of the hand is pointing up at the bird. So it's a human, of course, with her beautiful red eye. You can see all the details for that eye inside of there. And we can look at the very outside of the stone, or we can look at the interior as well. I talked about this a little bit before, but I almost feel bad about doing it this way because the art is almost too easy to see, and I feel like I'm just selling it out. So, as you guys know, I made a pledge a long time ago to make this all not for profit. If we look into the white, you can see the carving for the eye, and just start off with that. And we'll see different silhouettes and paint. I won't cover up too much of it because I know that you guys are going to see different things than what I will see. But on every edge and every corner, there are little paintings of humans and birds. You'll be able to start to see these guys come out. So let's go ahead and take a look at this one here. Hi everybody, we're right here. Sorry about that. I have to clean the condensation off my phone with a heat gun, believe it or not. So we have this bird beak with the yellow, and you can see how the ripples are here, how the yellow color. This is actually a representation of the feather, of the wing, sorry, the whole right wing. And you can see how the lines at the top of the crest are done for the bird's crest. And that little meme of this wing, this little miniature wing, we're gonna see that again here in just a moment here. Here, here, here. And, you know, sticking with the same artifact that we were just looking at, we're gonna take a look at this bird as well on the right-hand side. You can see the colors on here. Looking at it like this, you can see how it's a painted cardinal. I didn't notice. See how the white beak perhaps? But then pointing it to the right-hand side also turns into a red duck head. So there's so many characters, including human beings, that you can see that are painted on here. It's unfathomable. It seems impossible. I don't know how they had the time to do it, but they did it. And so if you use your ancient eyes here and take a peek at this artifact as we move it around, you'll see that in the weird angles and the very strange angles that you end up putting it at, you'll find the weird little humans and things that are put into it. And all turns back into a duck head. And here is perhaps an easier duck head to see. You can see how the beak is done with the round head, right? Pretty easy to see duck head. But watch when we flip it over here. You can see how it becomes now a different type of bird, perhaps. Maybe it has a pointier beak. So we'll have a picture of a bird here with the bird's eye and this big red indentation. You can see how the beak is rounded and carved. And then looking at the interior of this in the white, you can see how there's an eye, the nose, and the mouth of just the human silhouette, ignoring the beak. It is a representation of the man turning into the bird. That's what this art celebrates. We had to take another heat gun break there, but you can see how the beak of this bird is portrayed right here at this section. You can see how the rest of the head is, depending on your perception. You might also see a right-sided bird. The same stone, flipping it over, you can see how the crest is done for the bird above, with the eye for the bird probably right there. You can see how this whole thing has the silhouette of a human. There's one in white as well. For this character here, you can see in the black face, there's a red feather coming back. You can see how the bits of her headdress are done. And coming all the way back, if we dug some more of this out, we would see a little bit more color. But you can see how the nose of this indigenous person with their beautiful headdress is portrayed. And expanding on that a little further, you might be able to see the eye in the red. You'll see a few different images. Now that section here, you know, the black face, forgetting about that for just a moment, and you can see how this swoop for the beak is done for the big bird that's positioned on top of here. If you look closely right here, there's a little circle where someone just simply dug their finger. I could even make it a little bigger. You know, this is how easy this stuff is to work. So I can make that bird eye a little bigger with my finger. Forgive me, ancient artists, but that might help to see the bird with the wing there in the back. I keep on catching these little silhouettes that are coming out here. You can see how the mouth is right here, like I'm telling it to shh, or they're saying shh, because they obviously hid this kind of for a reason. But I'll tell you, I've been doing this for 3 years now, and it's funny because now I found these really defined artifacts. This is something that I wanted to talk about in the video. So I found these really defined artifacts. However, because I've been barking for 3 years now, just about, see this giant bird head with the red eye, they're not going to listen to me. If you look at the paint on this, I'll just try to show in the screen here. Let me fix our focus though. You can see how the white eye is portrayed for the first image, and then expand on that and move outward. You'll be able to see some more. You can see how what I'm holding, if you look at things upside down, you can see how I'm holding a big duck head with the eye of the duck and the beak at the bottom. It's actually to be faced like this. And so it does have that extendo beak. And the way that you take care of that beak is you can bring it down, but there's so much more to see other than little birds. So when we see that you know, these little noses and these little silhouettes coming out. And we see that all these colors and everything that's on here is very intentional. It can't help but make you do something about it. At least that's what I think. Beautiful bird here represented. And, you know, I've been waiting all day to make videos, so thanks guys for joining in with me. We can see how the longest point is being the nose. We can turn some different ones out. Look at that little one. So we're looking in the pink section. And at different angles and in different ways, we'll see a lot. You guys will as well. Sorry for showing you my shoes. So filming in the rain was not a good idea. But to finish my point, yes, I've been talking about this stuff for 2.5 or 3, almost 3 years now. And so if I tell them something, they're not listening. But the problem is now we found these photorealistic ones. These, more than even the gateways. I think they're so easy to see. And so this big bird head pointing to the right. There's also a big person or a painting of a person to the left. And I'll try to show you the reflection, the way that they loved this material. You know, bird head to the left, I'm sure, or a platypus or something. But we have our statue of the woman here, and I'll fix our focus. Sorry, somehow the focus thing got put at the bottom of the screen. And we'll go ahead and show you the feather here on this woman's head. It's quite beautiful. Take a look at a few of these here. Let me see if I can catch it again. I think it's on the other side, to be honest. Yeah, it's painted in. It's black. Here we are. Sorry for tapping the screen there. I'm trying to get our focus correct. There's our red-faced lady. And to the left, there's a character, a spooky character with this painted black face, it looks like. Just in the orange here, there's another one. There's one with the white and the red and the black. You know, and I don't, just a heads up, guys, there's white people, black people, all different kinds of people in this stuff. So there are a lot of indigenous fellas, yes. But, you know, it's because of you guys in the community. You can see the Birdman with this diamond shape. He's wearing the bird mask, it looks like, or it's just some type of character. I don't know what the heck he is. You can see his chin and everything done there. But it's because of you guys that I'm able to keep doing this. You know, we're not making any money, but you guys are sure as heck encouraging me. And these people won't, the people who made this art, they won't let me stop until it's all done. So I'm kind of their prisoner, I think. It's pretty insane. All right. And that being said, I'm thankful that they've given me this type of art here. I'm really thankful for that. We can see the giant bird head that's portrayed, and there's also a little human silhouette in the black. And there's so much more. I've shown those 2 before, so let's take a look at a few of the other ones. There's going to be some super easy ones to see. It's super heavy though. I don't know why I picked these huge heavy ones. I think this bird head comes out very well. You can see it pointing this way, of course. Give you a quick shot of all the bird heads. For this one, you can see how the white swoop for the eye, the beak, the different color, and the crest poking up. It's a big bird head. That's all it is.